go. Welcome to Sprawl and Brawl. It is episode number 49. I am Matt, joining you as always every Thursday, May 18th. This particular Thursday, though, it is 2017, and I was way closer to the mic than I should have been there. So sorry if I was like screaming your ears off there, but it's gonna be the volume that I'm at right now. I'm gonna try to stay away from the mic because usually I'm way closer, but my mic stand is broke and I can't put it as close as I want to because it just keeps chirping down a little bit. But it still works. I eventually need to get a legit mic stand that is actually functional. But anyways, this is the MMA podcast and also wrestling occasionally because I'm pretty much the only guy on this podcast that usually likes wrestling. But hey, I'm the only one here today, so I guess I could talk about some wrestling eventually. But MegaSearcher.com, go check out that website. That's where you can go find all the VODs and MP3s related to this show. We stream live every Thursday, like I said, on our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, and a bunch of other places. It's MegaSearcher TV. And you can find us on iTunes and wherever else you can find podcasts. We're probably there as well. And you can get the straight up RSS feed from our website. So just go to megaswitch.com, click that RSS link on your phone. It'll just set up in your podcast shit. If you have an app for podcasts, it's gonna go there. So yeah, that's it for the intro. I'm Matt. Let's get this started. I'm only gonna talk about MMA. That's it. I don't have anything else to talk about because there was so much MMA this week that wrestling is so shitty right now. There's really nothing to talk about because stuff is not really happening. There's a few things happening that I don't even want to get into. But anyways, Tecia Torres and Raquel Pennington got engaged this week. So cool. Awesome. I think it was Raquel that also graduated. So that's awesome. A lot of stuff to celebrate from those two. How often is that going to happen, right? A fucking marriage between two UFC fighters. Never mind two ladies or two guys or even a lady and a guy. There's relationships in the UFC, but are they married? No, they're not. And that's kind of cool. So there you go. Raquel Pennington is one of those girls that even if she is a lesbian, I would totally hang out with her and be her lesbian friend. If you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's super attractive, but man, she just seems like a down-to-earth, cool person. And Tecia Torres, I guess she's down-to-earth if she's with Raquel. But Tecia Torres, to me, just seems like a killer. Just a straight-up killer, so I would not mess with that girl. UFC is going to put on weekly fights on Tuesday on Fight Pass. It's going to be from, somebody said the Tough House. I assume that it's from the Tough Gym, because that's where the cage is. They put a cage in the Tough House. This show is fucking cooler than the fucking Ultimate Fighter show. And that's kind of a problem. Look, Ultimate Fighter is not bad. It's not a bad show. It's just they really should consider replacing that shit eventually. And this would be a pretty good replacement because some of the, I don't know if it's going to be every fight that the winner goes into the UFC, but that's how a lot of these fights are going to work. You win, you go into the UFC. So that's fucking the Ultimate Fighter. But you don't need to fucking watch a reality show at the same time. And it's live. Everything about this sounds cool to me. Except that it's on Tuesdays. I would rather it be on Wednesdays. But that's the Ultimate Fighter. I just don't know why they're keeping the Ultimate Fighter if they're doing this. They should imagine if they were just like, hey, you know that women's title? We're going to have fights every Wednesday per round until we have a champion. So, like, the first round is just going to be all the ladies. That's the first episode. Bam, all the ladies. And that second episode, because there's less ladies, you throw in some fucking other fights in there with the tournament. And then when you get to the finals, that's the main event of the Tuesday night fights. And then the rest, you have an undercard where you can build whatever the fuck you want to do with that show. But yeah. Man, I don't know. Tough is just hard now for most people. Like, you have to be really hardcore, in my opinion, to be watching Tough right now. It's like 205 Live for WWE. Nobody watches that shit. Nobody watches that fucking shit. Nobody gives a fuck. There's so much UFC now. Yeah. And then there's going to be more. Do you think that's going to help the Ultimate Fighter ratings out at all? These people are paying upwards of $60 a year for Fight Pass. And then do you think they're going to watch the Ultimate Fighter? That's another problem. All these shows that actually legit air on TV and then can't go on the internet in a reasonable fashion or a timely fashion, bullshit. Come on, man. Get with the times. I don't know, man. I feel like TV contracts, how they work them out, they should have a part in there that says, hey, you can put this on the internet, just we share the revenue for like 6 weeks. And then after that, whatever, you can do whatever you want because that's our replay time with it. But it's weird. It's weird. Because that Toronto UFC pay-per-view that aired during Christmas, that was the shit. And they had to get like a special clearance to air that because it was so shortly after the pay-per-view that they were just like, yeah, normally we don't do that because the replay, it's still worth money. We can still sell this on pay-per-view right now. I wonder how many people actually buy that shit on pay-per-view after it happens. I'm sure there's some, but it can't be that many. You remember when WWE back in the day, they were like, it's Monday Night Raw. We got the replay on tomorrow, guys. It's on at 8. Holy shit. Rewatch WrestleMania. I'm sure people did that, but overall, wrestling is just weird because it's on a Sunday. And then it's on a Tuesday for the replay. That's not partying time. That's not get together and watch. That's like, I'm going to be alone to watch this and be a loser. That's me watching wrestling alone like a loser. Very rarely do I watch wrestling with people. Very rarely. It just doesn't happen because it's not on the weekends. Oh, thank you, Windows, for reminding me about this update and making me look darker. Because I already don't... hey, this isn't even... It would help if that thing was actually pointing at my face. But anyways. Yeah. Talk about wrestling. Hey, Booker T. He's been in the MMA news this week because he had Anthony Rumble Johnson on his radio show, Heated Conversations. That sounds exciting. Gotta tune into that show right now. But anyways, he was on there. He kind of wiggled around some questions. He talked a little bit about medical marijuana here and there, and he didn't really say what his post-career UFC thing was, but it's pretty clear that he was going to be growing some marijuana in some facility somewhere for medical reasons, and it's going to help out with the CTE and all that. Going to help my MMA homies with this weed. Hey, Nick Diaz, I heard you like weed. Nick Diaz probably already has it grow up somewhere. If not Nate, one of those two is invested in weed somewhere. Well, I'm pretty sure Nate has those vape pens. Pretty sure he's invested in that company that he was smoking the CBD oil or vaping the CBD oil after the UFC event. I'm pretty sure he owns part of that company. I didn't watch that MMA hour with him on it, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said on it. Man, this beer is super warm and there's still a lot of it. It's just been sitting there for like an hour, and I only drank the first drink cold. It's pretty terrible now. All right, Minotauro Negaro. See what happens when I don't actually write down the name. Minotauro Nogueira. Jeez, what? How could I not say that? So weird. So he got injured, and he's out of his UFC Fight Night 112 fight versus Ilir Latifi. I thought that was an okay fight. I mean, I probably saw Latifi winning that fight, but it was a good winnable fight for Minotauro to maybe go out on if he decided to retire, which he probably should, but it's not my business. But yeah, that was an alright fight. UFC Fight Night 112. Let's actually find out where that is, because I would not be surprised if that's the Sweden event, because, Latifi's on it. Oh shit, it's in Oklahoma City. Never mind. It's not even close. Oh, that's the Chiesa versus Lee event, which got a lot of press this week. I guess we can talk about that right now. The UFC had that big press event that we talked about last week, the day after we talked about it. So it was the summer kickoff event or whatever the hell they called it, press conference. and they had all of the summer events main eventers on stage for questions. I want to say they maybe had a few others too, but man, everybody did a really good job of selling all the pay-per-view or all their events. They're not all pay-per-views, like UFC Fight Night 112. Chiesa was there. Not Michael Lee. What's his fucking first name? Lee. What the fuck is? Why am I blanking on his name? Because Michael is that's Chiesa's first name. Anyways, Kevin Lee. So he started talking about like blah blah blah, just talking shit, and then Chiesa went blah blah blah, and then he's like, oh yeah, I know your mom's gonna be there and she has tickets, and then Chiesa was just like, you don't talk about my mother, you don't talk about my mother, man, don't talk about my mother, I'm gonna go over there, and then he dropped the mic, and then he went over there. So he said that Kevin Lee cheap shot at him because all these security guards were hanging on to me. But dude, you ran up right to his fucking face. What is he going to do? Nothing? So, I mean, I like Chiesa. He is very relatable. He has because he doesn't seem afraid to share a lot of his life, and a lot of his life is kind of not that great. So, a lot of people relate with that. And including me. I don't know what else to say except that, but he kind of looked like a big doofus after this press conference. Like, you don't talk about my mom there, because he didn't even say anything. He just said your mom's going to be at the fight and she has tickets already. Like, that's literally all he said. He said, your mama has tickets already. That's literally all he said. And it's just like, what? That seems to me like that's getting in your head a little bit too much there. You should probably let that go a little bit and seem more sane rather than seem insane. Because here's the thing. You would think that being insane would probably help you be a better fighter, but you still got to learn stuff, right? You can't just be out there murdering people. Like, eventually somebody's going to kill you back. You know, so somebody is actually going to be able to defend themselves and fucking destroy you. So you got to be on your tiptoes all the time. Anyways, that was just a weird situation. But that was probably the biggest thing outside of the John Jones and DC Cormier stuff from that press conference. So, hey, it's official now. UFC 214, which is the July 30th pay-per-view, I believe, right before August. That fight is official. That's got to be the main event, right? Like they're not claiming it's the main event right now, but fucking bullshit. Like, get out of here, Dana White, with all your horse crap. Like, I'm getting tired of it. This week he was talking about him and Conor McGregor are on the same page, and we've negotiated this half. Now we just got to go negotiate with Conor McGregor. Hey, that's the whole fucking deal, you jackass. I get what you're fucking doing. You just want to seem like this is just posturing. You're like, oh yeah, me and Conor were on the same page and we got this now. We're going to get this fight. Yeah. Okay. Fucking awesome. The fucking battle is with fucking Mayweather. That's who's going to give you a fucking hard problem or hard time. Like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. How long did that fucking take to happen? And it wasn't because of fucking Pacquiao. I can tell you that. Pacquiao wanted that fight a long time ago, and he would have fucking done it for free. So, like, all this shit with Dana White, it's getting to a point where he doesn't own the UFC as much as he used to. What does he have, 8% now or something like that, 7%? Which is still higher than it should be, man. But, like, when I bought the UFC, if I would have bought the UFC and given Dana White that much money, because they all split the money, right? I would have been like, yeah, I'm not giving you fucking 8%. Go fuck yourself. Give you 4%. I don't even know what you do with those percentages right now anyways, right? It's like, I have 8% of the UFC. Cool. And then I'm going to sell them later, I guess. And then if you sell them before the company tanks, then, you know, insider trading and all that stuff. It's just, anyways, whatever. Give them all the stocks. Give them 100%. No, I'm kidding. The California State Athletic Commission has passed groundbreaking weight cutting regulations. So before a fighter, when he missed weight, if they fought afterwards, he would only get the fight purse, and it was 20%, and then that 20% was split in half. So 10% would go to the opponent of the guy that missed weight, and then the other 10% would go to the commission, which is kind of bullshit. The commission doesn't need to be fucking taking fines and like. It's the same, whatever. It's the same thing with like cops and bullshit traffic tickets and all that stuff. They have a quota, they gotta fill it, and they're gonna fill it. Anyways, so okay, now besides just the fight purses, they're gonna take 20% of the bonuses as well. So whatever the fuck bonuses you get, whether that is the pay-per-view money, whether that is the win bonus, whether that is the finish bonus, whatever you get, fight of the night bonus, anything, 20% of that goes entirely to the fighter. None of that touches the commission, which is how all of that shit should work. Because, if a fighter misses weight, what the fuck does the commission have to do with that? Just give the money to the fucking opponent. That's where it should go. Okay, so that's something that they did change. They also changed if you miss weight twice in a row, I think, and then 3 times overall. It might just be twice. They will recommend the UFC that you go up in weight, and then the UFC will probably listen, because that's what the UFC does with the commissions most of the time, because they want to be friendly with those guys. Yeah, anyways, that's about it. So, yeah, weight cutting has been an issue in the past year for sure. Like it has not gotten any better with the modified weight, the weigh-ins in the morning as opposed to the night before. Like none of that's changed, right? So if anything, I would say more people missed weight since then. And there's been even more weird stuff that's happened since then, like the towel incident with DC. He missed weight. He fucking missed weight. It's fucking crazy. And then he wants to talk about John Jones using coke and sandblasting prostitutes and all that shit that he said. Like, fuck off. That's pretty much why I hate DC, because he's like Tiger Woods. He is Tiger Woods. That's a pretty good comparison. When he's in front of the camera, he's Mr. Good Guy. No, you know what? But then no, because then DC flips it around. That's the weird. Yeah, and then he flips it around on camera. It's weird, because when John Jones tested positive last time for whatever, and then he was like, oh yeah, I hope he does better and blah, blah, and he can't get off of this shit. Like, did he mean that? Or does he mean what he said on Friday? Because the two things he said are very contradictory. Now, John Jones is actually Tiger Woods. But now that he's been found out, I like John Jones way more since he's been found out to be a dickhead. Because he's just like, whatever, I'm a dickhead. And what was that moment of the whole thing? He's like, my favorite moment of this whole presser was when he was like, of the whole thing about sandblasting prostitutes and snorting coke and drinking alcohol and all that stuff. He was like, I did all that stuff on the weekend and I still beat you. That was pretty awesome. DC's not a national treasure. He should just go wrestle. Just go do some wrestling. Just go to WWE, man. I've gotten enough of your bullshit in MMA with this. Cain Velasquez is my friend, so I'm not gonna fight in heavyweight. I'm not a big fan of fucking DC. Because a fighter, a champion, wouldn't give a fuck that the guy is his friend. They would not give a fuck. They would just go, I'm going to go kick his ass. And he did not do that. I'm not the biggest DC dude, but I'm also not like a huge hater of DC. Like, he's fine. I can respect his talent. He can beat 95% of the UFC guys, heavyweight as well. I just don't like his personality. That's all. And even when he commentates, he's fine. He's not my favorite of the fighter commentators. Brian Stan is better, and then fucking Cruz. Cruz is a bazillion times better. I could listen to Cruz talk about fighting all day. He should fucking stop fighting and just do that. But anyways, and I really liked Randy Couture when he did it, when he retired for like that quick second and then came back and won the heavyweight title. I really, really love that 3-man team of Randy Couture, Michael Goldberg, and Joe Rogan. That was fucking awesome. Yeah. They're doing the 3-man again, which is cool. That's like one of the few sports where the 3-man makes sense. Do the 3-man in fucking fighting. Do it. Wrestling, shh. 2 guys. Just do the 2 guys. I would even argue do the 1 guy. I fucking love 1 guy broadcast teams too. Josh Matthews, when he was alone, I preferred him alone compared to when the Pope came in. That's just me though. Anyways, Josh Thompson, he wanted his loss to Patricky Pitbull overturned due to an illegal headbutt. That was at Bellator 176, 177. It was the main event of that fight. Oh, that was the first event that Mitrione and Fedor Emelianenko was supposed to fight, and that got pushed up to the main event. That was a good fight. That headbutt was unfortunate, but it wasn't on purpose on either side. So I don't know. I can kind of see why you would be pissed off that you kind of lost, but ultimately it wasn't really the headbutt that caused the loss. Like it contributed to it for sure, but that's not what caused the loss. So I'm going to agree with not overturning that, but the commission never fucking overturns anything unless it's like substantially fucking obvious that it's wrong. And even then, they still have a hard time budging. Sometimes they're just like, and that's the thing too, right? If you ask me, okay, I'm the commission head right now, right? And I hired all the fucking refs. I hired all the judges. I'm like, oh man, I trust all these guys, right? And then this bullshit happens later. And then they're like, oh yeah, you're going to have to look into this and maybe overturn it. And then I'll be like, I'm pretty confident I'm not going to overturn that. All those guys, Herb Dean, he's good. Everyone's good. I'm never going to but it should, man. There's so many, there was so much shit this year that should have gotten overturned that didn't. That is fucking crazy. I don't know if this is one of them, but it could, like, I don't know how hard he considered it is the thing, but it wasn't an inadvertent blow. Shit. That's the thing about the UFC 211. It wasn't an inadvertent blow either, but the thing about that one though, it was gratuitous as fuck. That it was going down. It's 4 knees. No, sorry. It's 3 knees. Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier. Poirier's on the ground, fucking gets kneed 3 times. Okay, the first knee barely landed. The second knee hit his hand. And then the third knee, clear as day, landed. Even if he didn't mean it, he was kind of like laying on top of him. Eddie Alvarez was out of it. His eye was fucking swollen shut. He was blind out of one eye. He was getting rocked. It's a weird situation. So I can't disagree with what Herb Dean's assessment of the situation is. But like the commission as a whole should fucking come around and be like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a no DQ. Yeah. Because I don't know, a lot of it has been made about intent. But I think the intent rule is only about taking away points. I don't know if the intent rule is about a fight ending. I don't know if you can call a fight a no contest from fucking knees that were clearly illegal, whether there was intent or not. I'm not 100% on that, but I know for sure that the intent rule is for taking away points. So if somebody does a kick to the crotch 3 times, right? He's clearly meaning to fucking hit around there somewhere, and if not clearly for the cup, then he's hitting around there. So you're gonna take away a point, right? But man, fuck, it was just a big mess. Fucking 3 knees, and there's no, it's a no contest and not a no DQ. That's so bullshit. Anyways, we'll talk about UFC 211 soon. What else do I have in news here? Tim Johnson versus Junior Albini, heavyweights added to UFC on Fox 25. That is being headlined by, they announced one fight for that card not too long ago. And I don't remember if, oh man, come on, Google Docs. Why are you doing this to me? All right. Weidman versus Gastelum. No, wait. UFC on Fox 25. Why isn't it not giving me the... Is it Weidman versus... Holy shit. I didn't even know about... I guess they announced that on Friday, and I missed it. Chris Weidman versus Kelvin Gastelum is the main event of UFC on Fox 25. That's in July. Man, that's soon. It's 2 months from now. What else is on here? Frankie Perez versus Chris Wade. Chris Wade is a good fight. Jan Vellante versus Patrick Cummins. That's a pretty good fight too. Jamie Rivera versus Thomas Almeida. Some pretty good fights on that card. Damn, there's some good stuff. I did talk about the Kevin Lee Chiesa thing. End of the day, Chiesa overreacted. Like that's my personal take on that thing. Because it's not like Lee really said anything bad. Really, at the end of the day, he didn't say anything bad. And if Chiesa said, "Don't talk about my mom. Don't talk about mom," and he just stood there and sit back down, yeah, fine. But then he fucking ran up to him. Don't do that. Don't do that, Michael. Bad Michael. Your dad would... Nah, I wouldn't... Shh. I'm not going to talk shit about anything. I kind of regret even saying that one word. Sorry, Michael. I'm really sorry about saying that. I fucked up. Sorry. Fuck. Sorry. Talk about the mom is one thing, but Jesus, I feel that. Fuck. All right. Roy McDonald is fighting tomorrow. They did the weigh-ins today. Everybody weighed in. They all did it. That's awesome. There's nobody missed it. So no more fuck ups. Michael Venom Page was going to be the co-main event. He's out. He got injured. So thank God, because then we have Linton Vassell versus Liam Mcgeary as the co-main event, which is not super amazing, but at least it's something. At least that fight, at least they made weight and it's all good. But anyways, Rory McDonald's, he said that he is still training out of TriStar Gym and splitting his time between that camp and BC, wherever he's training out of BC. I'm not entirely sure. The article only said that he has a BC camp. Might be his own camp. I wouldn't be surprised. It's fucking Rory McDonald, goddammit. He's like the best Canadian fighter right now. Well, GSP whenever he comes back, but we'll see. He's not technically back yet, so it's still Rory McDonald. Justin Gaethje, the former World Series of Fighting champion, will be against Michael Johnson at the Tough Redemption finale. That's cool. That makes that event way better. I'm looking forward to that fight. Michael Johnson called Justin Gaethje's titled C League title, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you could go that way because now there's Bellator. That starts with B, so that's the B League. At one point, you could have argued that World Series was maybe higher than Bellator, but that those days are long gone. Long gone. Anyways, I think that does it for the news. Yeah, that press conference was pretty badass for what it was. A lot of people are complaining that press conference was like, they're becoming like WWE, and it's like storylines and like, dude, that's what MMA has always been. And I don't know if you noticed, but Twitter was fucking exploding during that shit. Whether it was negative or positive, it doesn't matter. It's fucking exploding. And you're going to fucking watch that shit when it happens. So don't watch it. Don't tweet about it. That's how you do it, people. Just you can watch it. Just shh. Just shut your mouth, and then they'll be like, "Huh? Nobody's talking about the UFC." But we're still getting the views. That's weird. No, it makes it super obvious that the Kevin Lee, Michael Chiesa thing is like the number one thing after that fucking press conference. Except maybe John Jones in DC. Except maybe that. All right. UFC 211. Let's talk about some MMA results here. The prelims draw the biggest numbers of 2017. The prelims on FX. They were on FX too this time. So that's an interesting fact right there because FX does not air UFC. It's been a long time since it's been on Fox Sports. So yeah, it's been a little while since it's been on FX, and it still did the high numbers it did. It averaged 1.148 million viewers, and then the Alvarez versus Poirier fight peaked at 1.380 million. So yeah, that's pretty good. And usually when the prelims do that well, the pay-per-view also sells. Weird. Never saw the correlation between that, right? All right, so I'm actually going to open up this Wikipedia page for this event because I do have notes for it too, but just in case, because there's some fights I did not take notes. The main events, I wrote absolutely nothing about them, funny enough, but I know what happened. All right, so it started off with a light heavyweight fight between Sumarad Antugulov versus Joachim Christensen. This was a fucking awesome fight. I called it last week. This was going to be a good way to start the event. And it was pretty good. I would not say that it was the best fight of all time. It was a pretty quick fight. It was competitive for the very short amount that it lasted. They rolled around on the ground. It seemed like Christensen was going to get it on the back, and then all of a sudden Antugulov just reversed it, and they got a rear naked choke in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. So that was a great way to start off the Fight Pass prelims there. So there you go. Women's strawweight fight here between Jessica Aguilar and Courtney Casey. What do I remember about this fight off the top of my head before I read these notes here? The up kicks. The up kicks. Jesus, that was the main story about this fight, really, is that Courtney Casey was on her back a lot, but she was winning the whole fucking time she was on her back. She was very rarely losing off of her back. She landed a lot of fucking up kicks that hurt Aguilar, especially one of them. Just it was clear as day that she was hurt. And she was throwing them to the fucking legs too and hyperextending the knees. And I'm just, oh my God, dude, Aguilar, bend your knees. Like that's the only thing you need to do. Bend your fucking knees, and that's not going to happen. Or, you know how all these people do like the games where they get on the ground, like with Alvarez and Dustin Poirier that I'm going to talk about soon, where it's just like, oh, my hand's on the ground, so I'm grounded. You know what you could do? Put your fucking hand on the ground so she can't fucking up kick you. Sorry, I might have just blown out everybody's ears there. But yeah, put your knee down. Defend it somewhat. Just don't fucking walk into it fucking getting your knees destroyed and your face destroyed. And that was really the story of the fight. And by the time the third round came around, Aguilar was fucked up. She was fucked up, and she just couldn't do much. So, yeah, Courtney Casey, crazy fight. Up kicks. Shout outs to those up kicks because it was crazy. And she was the taller of the two, too. So, when it was on the stand-up, she was still doing pretty good. So, man, pretty one-sided fight, I thought. Lightweight fight here. Oh, man. See, I missed a fight here. Before that women's strawweight fight on UFC Fight Pass, there was Enrique Barzola. He defeated Gabriel Benitez via unanimous decision, all 29-28 featherweight fight. It was good. That first round was really good, and then they kind of slowed down. Whatever. Lightweight fight, James Vick versus Marco Polo Reyes. This fight was fucking awesome. James Vick got a TKO. It's awesome how he did it because Reyes threw a punch and he just kind of like backed like very slightly. He didn't even really do that much of a movement. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna go like that, avoid this punch, and boom, boom, and then another right, boom, and he killed him. Afterwards, he called out the winner of Chiesa versus Lee, and he also said that if any of them get injured, he will step in, no problem. The reason he did that is because think his only loss in the UFC is to Michael Chiesa, so he would like to avenge that fight. And I'm sure if Kevin Lee wins, that'll put up his stock a little bit. I'm sure most people know who Kevin Lee is if you follow MMA. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes one of those guys that does become somewhat of a bigger name. Maybe like a DC. Not quite a John Jones level talent main event draw, but maybe a DC. All right. Oh my God, the fight of the event right here. Jesus, did I mention how awesome these prelims were? The prelims probably were better than the fucking pay-per-view. Not that I hated the pay-per-view, because the pay-per-view was pretty good. But fuck, these prelims of the year, naming it right now. Maybe something else will beat it this year, but man, I can't think of any prelims that were better than this year. There was a few in 2016 that were fucking amazing, but this year, wow, amazing card. But anyways, Chase Sherman versus Rashad Coulter. The first round was a pretty standard round. Sherman landed a fucking assload of leg kicks though, and that was mainly the story of the first round. A lot of leg kicks that hurt Rashad Coulter's legs, like an immense amount. And then the second round, the first few kicks he landed, you could tell like Rashad was fucking done. And he just kept landing those kicks, and he could barely fucking even stand anymore. Like they were saying, like, you can't even walk. Like, dude, he couldn't even fucking stand. It was fucking brutal to watch. Like when he was throwing. Okay, so then for some reason I don't know what Chase Sherman was doing, but I guess he decided to go in for a KO. And Coulter's a strong ass motherfucker, and he resisted. Not only did he resist, but he also threw a bunch of punches and strikes of his own, and almost won the fucking fight. Threw a couple of right uppercuts there. That, wow, Chase Sherman was in big trouble before eventually landing a leg kick, a few here and there that also stumbled Coulter, and then Rashad just landed a knee that buckled Sherman, and then he just kind of like toppled over. Or was it a punch? Oh, that was a punch. It's only a punch. Yeah, one punch right at the end, just fell over, and then that was the end of the fight. It was fucking awesome. Like, this was an amazing fight. If you have not seen it, I'm sure they'll post it on the YouTube eventually, because that's one of those fights that they like to post. Because it was it's not like UFC Fight Pass. You could sell Fight Pass with this fight for sure, because that's the only place you can get it legally right now, right? But man, fucking amazing fight. Chaz Skelly versus Jason Knight. Didn't take many notes on this fight because it was fairly even. I would say Knight took over around the second half of the second round, I would say, and from there on, I was pretty much just all Knight. There was a moment in the first round that they were rolling around, and then Jason got an armbar, and it was pretty deep, and it looked like it was going to be done. But hey, Chaz Skelly fucking did not tap, and he got out of it like a tough mofo. That was the moment of the fight, really. Was that armbar? And Jason Knight said that he heard the elbow pop, I think is what he said. So yeah, he heard his arm pop a bunch while he was doing that armbar. So that's not good. Probably have to take a break on that arm for a little bit there, Skelly. But that was an awesome fight. And then the lightweight main event here of Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier. Holy fuck. Amazing fight, right? But the ending, it's like a bad WWE fight, right? So you're like, holy shit, this match is amazing. And then it ends with a stupid DQ. But, this was kind of similar. The first round wasn't super spectacular. A lot of feeling around is what I would say the first round was, with Poirier ending up with the bigger of the exchanges, I would say, in that first round. And Poirier also did a very good job of containing Alvarez. He didn't circle to his strong point. He also did a very good job of backing away and just playing the distance game. And Alvarez didn't really do much in that first round, to be honest. In the second round, they just decided to go fucking all out crazy. Alvarez got rocked And not only once, a few times. There's a punch in there that I would have knocked out anybody else for sure. For sure. But it's fucking Eddie Alvarez. That's what he does. That's what he's always done. That's what he's known for. And Bellator, that's what he does. He never gets knocked out. Even against, was it Nate Diaz too? Like, that fight was fucking amazing. And no, he didn't fight Nate Diaz. Who did he fight? Not Connor. Anyways, there was one of those fights in the UFC. It was also very good. But anyways, Eddie Alvarez is just one of those warriors that will never go down due to anything. But anyways, he was getting rocked, and then he also landed some shots of his own. And then Dustin Poirier was in trouble, and he ended up on the ground, and he was killing him. And then he threw 3 knees that landed to the head that were clearly illegal. Herb Dean explained that it was a no contest. I don't agree with it. I already talked about it on the show a little bit. I don't know how mad I could be about it now, because I kind of got it out of my system twice already. But it's totally bullshit. And there's a few of those decisions this year that is totally bullshit. And I feel like overturning decisions shouldn't be left to the commission. There should be something off to the side that is controlling the decisions separately, right? So that if something like this does happen and somebody does want to appeal the decision, it's not just the commission going like, we're good. It's somebody going, actually looking into it. Like, I will look at this footage. We know Herb Dean is a reputable ref, and we know that the commission usually does their job. But in this one instance, like, yeah, they were wrong, and this is a no DQ. There's no way that this is a no contest. He fucking threw 3 knees. There's plenty of time for him to recognize that he was on the ground. Because it's not even a thing that his fingers were on the ground. His fucking knee was on the ground. He was on the fucking ground. I know I've seen a lot of people saying like, well, his arm wasn't posted. His knee was on the ground. The whole fucking time. The whole fucking time his knee was down. And I heard Herb Dean say, like, I explain it to my students. It's whenever you're not on two feet. That's when you're a grounded opponent. And then he modified that to say, oh yeah, but except if you're posted on your arm and you're not putting your full weight on it. If you can kick out their arm and they don't fall over, that's not like, dude, Herb, you're inventing your own fucking rules. That's fine that you're like, I'm not totally against what he's saying, but this is a no DQ. It's a no DQ. He fucking kneed him 3 times. 3 times. And I'll even argue, look, the first time barely glazed him. That's the one that he should have gotten a warning on. The second one, he intended to hit his head, but Dustin Poirier's arm and hand was in the way, so he did not hit him on the second one. And then the third one, obvious as fuck. Obvious as fuck. He hit him, fell down, done. So right now the story is, well, I guess like the post-fight interview, people were booing Eddie Alvarez, and Dustin Poirier is like, you don't boo this man, you fuckers. This man's a fighter. He's a warrior. So yeah, that was interesting. Whatever, boo him. Boo him. I'm the winner, man. Boo him. That's what he should have fucking said. Anyways, I get that he wants them to respect him, but at the same time, like, they're not booing that he sucks. They're booing that he fucking did an illegal knee. Yeah, Dustin Poirier is going to appeal this and probably lose. I doubt that they're going to change their decision on that. The UFC is interested in doing the rematch ASAP, but Poirier has a concussion, probably from that fucking last knee, which will push this fight back to at least November. At least. If they're treating this as a serious concussion, like, he's not coming back for another 6 months. At the very least. At the very least. So, yeah. It's just a shame because it was such a fucking great fight up to that point, and it was perfect fight. Perfect fight for the I would have probably put this as the first fight of the pay-per-view, to be honest, if it were me, because I would put the best fights on the pay-per-view, But the UFC's logic lately has been, let's put the best fight we can afford to put on the prelims, which also makes sense. But I would not do that. I would have put this on the fucking pay-per-view for sure. But, you know, they were in a tight bind this event because they did have a fairly awesome pay-per-view card until, what's his name? Sergio Pettis versus that other guy, Henry Cejudo. Was going to be the first fight of this pay-per-view card, but these guys got promoted from the co-main event of the prelims to the first fight of the pay-per-view. Krzysztof Jotko versus David Branch. You know, the thing I got to say about this fight really is that David Branch is coming out of a very different organization. He's coming out of World Series of Fighting. And the thing that separates World Series of Fighting from the UFC is that it's like old dudes and dudes that the UFC didn't want went to World Series of Fighting. So like Jake Shields, what's that other guy's name? Jake Shields and that other wrestler dude. F. It starts with an F. Oh, I have it. It's coming out. Shit, I saw him in person. Anyways, those two guys, they fought for the title, middleweight title, I believe, recently. And the last World Series of Fighting in New York. And yeah, it's just the World Series of Fighting doesn't mind having a style that's a little bit more boring to have the bigger names, right? So they don't mind having a Jake Shields in there as a heavy wrestling type that's less entertaining than other fighters, right? As long as they can, you know, he's a name recognition guy, so put him in there. People will be interested. I don't mind Jake Shields. Just sometimes, you know, you want to watch some MMA and watch some real action happen and not just some wrestling. And I don't like, I love watching wrestling by itself, and I love watching judo. I love watching jiu-jitsu by itself, but like, you know, sometimes you just want to watch some people go at it in MMA. It's so, you know, and when you watch David Branch clinch and fucking dominate the fight that way, it's, you know, it's kind of boring compared to the other fights. This would have been a fine, you know, prelim fight, and it ended up on the pay-per-view, which for David, I'm interested to see where David Branch goes from here. He won pretty easily. But it just wasn't entertaining. That was the end of the discussion with that fight, really. It just was not entertaining. But the total opposite of not entertaining here is entertaining. Featherweight fight between Frankie Edgar and Yair Rodriguez. Huge jump up in fucking competition for Yair Rodriguez. Like, that's all I can say about this fight. Did I maybe think he would do good? Yeah, I thought that. But like, Frankie Edgar is so much more of a step up than everybody he's fought. Like BJ Penn, yeah, of course he fucking killed BJ Penn. He's an old dude that can't do anything anymore. He's probably gonna fucking lose to Dennis Seaver if I really had to honestly put a guess out there. But yeah, Frankie Edgar just destroyed him. Landing a lot of punches in that first round, so much to the face that his eye got swollen. And in the second round, he just kept punching there, and then the ref ended it after that. Like, he couldn't. Yair Rodriguez even said that he could see out of that eye, which is cool. It shows a lot of passion out of Yair. But yeah, fucking stop that fight. He wasn't gonna win, anyways. And is it worth putting him out there for more punishment? No. It's not. So stop it. And I totally agree with that decision. Demian Maia versus Jorge Masvidal. Again, not. This was one of those, you know, EBI fights. Even then, like, EBI is more entertaining because, you know, you're not scared of getting punched all the time, so you're not holding on so tight on the ground. You're a little bit more loose and rolling around and all that stuff. And you know, this fight is pretty much what I expected it to be, right? Demian Maia going on the ground, Jorge maybe defending it. And that was pretty much the whole fight. It's like, yeah, Jorge defended some of them, but he got taken down. Didn't really do much on the feet either way. Yeah, boring fight. Went the whole the whole time. Masvidal actually ended the fight with fucking flurry of punches, which is a shame. He really didn't do that before. So, yeah. What can I say? The fight was pretty much a Maia fight, right? He can be super amazing. Now he's evolved a lot, but this is Jorge Masvidal. He's not going to let himself get KO'd, and he's not going to let himself get taken down easily either. So this was just, it was a clash of styles, and that's pretty much what happened. And then I don't have notes for these two next fights, but I totally remember what happened, because how could you forget women's strawweight championship fight, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Jessica Andrade, and holy shit, Jessica got destroyed. She did really good that first fight that they did, but she didn't really even do anything at all this whole fight. This whole fight was just Joanna Jędrzejczyk coming in, landing a jab and then a little combo, and then stepping out. That was the whole fight. That was the whole fucking fight. Jessica Andrade got destroyed, but she stood in there. She took a lot of fucking damage. A lot of damage that probably a lot of other girls would have gotten KO'd or TKO'd by. So there is that. And then Jessica lost and also proposed to her girlfriend, which is fucking cool. That's a different way to go about it. You lost, but man, you still won, right? You fucking proposed, and I wish that they would have brought her in the cage. That's the one thing I would have wished that they would have done. I bet if you want Jędrzejczyk propose to somebody, they're bringing that person the fuck right in the cage, right? But that's the only thing that I wish that wasn't their only proposal. I hope she proposed to her before this event, and she said yes, and it was more romantic than this, because this was not that romantic. Yeah, when you propose in the cage or any sporting event doing it, well, I guess it's different when you're the athlete. But even then, I see no class in doing it that way, really. Well, I guess you're married to a fighter. You're going into a gross cage. I guess you know what you're getting into, right? But I don't even know if I would call myself a romantic, but that seems like so unromantic to me that I would just not do that. But when you're two fighters, it's a pretty badass way. I'm just talking a lot of shit out of my ass here that I'm sure that she enjoyed the proposal. It's just, man, I would have brought her in the cage if I was the UFC. Like, go in there, man. You're fucking married. Go give her a fucking kiss and hug, man. Fucking, yeah. Fucking awesome. That's what should happen after every fucking proposal, right? Anyways. And then the main event of a heavyweight championship fight here of Stipe Miocic, champion, versus Junior Dos Santos, the challenger. Man, Junior Dos Santos destroyed him with those leg kicks. Destroyed him. And that's pretty much why Miocic, I feel, decided to end this fight as quick as he did, because holy shit, those leg kicks. Ha! Holy shit. They were ow, 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 ow. In the words of, what's his name? Enzo. Ow, 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 ow. Fucking ow. Man, anyways, but he got those leg kicks, and then he was just, I've got enough of this fight. I'm just going to knock him out. And the real story is that Junior Dos Santos was on the cage the whole fight. The whole fight. It was not a long fight, but he was on the cage the whole time. And he eventually ran into the cage and then bounced off of the cage right into fucking Miocic's fucking right hand. Did I say that right? Miocic. Oh, and that's another thing too. None of them were saying Miocic. None of them were saying Miocic the same fucking way. They were all saying it different. John Anik, how was he saying it? Miocic. I forget how he was saying it, but he fucking A. He was like, this fight is between Junior Dos Santos and the champion, Stipe Miocic. And then let's watch this promo. And then the promo dude is like saying it correctly 2 seconds after. It's just like, dude, can we, even if you're going to pronounce it wrong, can we all pronounce it wrong the same? Jesus Christ, man. Like, that's something I like about Brian Stan a lot, is that he doesn't let that shit happen. And fucking, John Anik that's like his job. That's his number one job, is to know that shit. Anyways, you should learn how to pronounce all those names, guy. It was a good event. It was a very good event. I feel like Stipe downplayed those leg kicks, but those leg kicks fucking destroyed him. Yep. Me too. I forgot how to pronounce Stipe Miocic now. Is it Miocic? Is it Miocic? Is it Miocic? I don't know. The Ultimate Fighter Redemption, episode 5. Diego Lima versus Hader Hassan was the fight of this episode. Honestly, this was the most tame episode of the whole season. They didn't really show too much of the house. The coaches didn't really go at it. It was very nice. It was two friends going at it. They were like, yeah, this sucks, but we're friends. Let's go at it. We're going to do the best we can. They showed off their family life. A bunch of stuff like that. And then the fight happened, and it was, I want to say it was one-sided. I mean, Hader Hassan landed some stuff. He did a little bit, but Diego Lima was pretty much all over him the whole fight. I would not call it destruction or a spectacular or entertaining fight or anything like that. There's a lot of Diego Lima going for takedowns and Hassan defending and then getting hit a few times and then actually getting taken down. This is the whole fight, really. And it's pretty obvious that who won, even though I just saw this the second round. This first time I saw it, I was just, oh yeah, it's pretty obvious Lima's winning. But that was that episode. But the next episode is Julian, whatever his last name is, Let Me Bang Bro, and he's fighting what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. I can picture his face, but basically what I'm saying here is that he's gonna get destroyed. Let Me Bang Bro is gonna lose, and then make his team be 6-0 or 0-6. Because I guess he's on the losing end. But yeah, fucking A. I still cannot get over how bad Cody Garbrandt's picks were. Because when they did the assessment, he actually seemed like the most intelligent of the two. Because not only was he looking at them physically, but he was also asking good questions. But man, what did he do with all that information? Picked the worst fucking team he could. Like, legitimately the worst team. Like, the one dude that's in the UFC, okay? You have the first pick, and you don't pick him. What the fuck is your problem? Because that's the one guy you pick. That's the one pick that's number one. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you say your scouting report says about... That's the guy you pick. He's in the fucking UFC, and he's been destroying. What's his name again? Forget, he fought last week. Anyways, God, the next episode looks way more entertaining, though. There's a bunch of drama going on between the coaches and Bang Ludwig and what's his name? Not Cody Garbrandt, but is it the Stockton bad boys? No, that's. It is no, Stockton Surfer, the Surfer dude. Shit, I just had his name. I literally just had his name when I was saying that. Anyways, they're gonna go at it. The guy who has American Top Team. Is that no, not American Top Team? Is it an American Top Team? No, what? Uriah Faber. My God, Uriah Faber. Yeah, Uriah Faber and Dwayne Bang Ludwig go at it on the next episode. Like babies. Like fucking babies. We get it. You had a fucking gym and he left. Like, get over it. He's gone now. I'm pretty sure you can run your gym without him now and be fine. Because he's been gone for a while. You'll live. Whatever. This week, or I should say tomorrow, There's not even a UFC. There's Bellator 179 that's airing on Spike on tape delay. The fuck are... Hey, Spike, how about we just do this, all right? If you're so keen on airing this shit on the normal time it would normally air on, can we please just fucking have it air at both times? Air it live at 3 p.m. and then air it again at fucking 9. The people who missed it at 3 are going to watch it at 9 anyways. So, just, anyways, the best Bellator card in history. In history, I'm going to say it. This is the best Bellator card in history. And it's not live. Anyways, this is the Rory McDonald versus Paul Daly event emanating from the SSC Arena from London, England. Liam Mcgeary versus Linton Vassell is the co-main event. Czech Congo versus Augusto Sakai. It's an alright fight. And then Kevin Ferguson Jr. versus DJ Griffin got bumped up from the prelims. I assume they did that because the prelims here, I don't think they're going to really air. Are they going to air the prelims on tape delay too? Man. Bellator. And then the day after that, they're doing a Monster Energy fight series from a NASCAR race in North Carolina. They've been doing that. The last time they did that was so long ago, though. So it's cool that they're doing it again. I mean, yeah. Unlike all previous Bellator events, this event will not be televised, and this event is taking place at a NASCAR race where Fox Sports, which holds rights to a rival MMA promotion, holds rights for events. Anyways. Okay, so that's why it's not airing. But I swear that they have had lower tier cards like this at races and at dirt bike events and stuff like that has not aired. So I want to say that because that this is a NASCAR race, it's not the first time, and that's not the reason why they're not airing this, because there's no one really on the card. But it's still pretty fucking cool that you go to a NASCAR race and you can watch some fucking fighting. I would go to a fucking NHL game and they're like Bellator fights outside of the arena, like in the parking lot. Fucking A, that's awesome. Anyways. And then there's also an Invicta on Saturday night. Invicta is that promotion that is only ladies that is on Fight Pass. And that, I guess that's also another thing about that Tuesday night fights is it's going to leave promotions like a Bellator in an interesting place, because what if the UFC just decides, hey, fuck it, we don't need the Invicta anymore. We can just get all the ladies to fight on this Tuesday night fight thing on Fight Pass without Invicta. I feel like that's where they're getting ready to phase out all those things. They shouldn't do, because those things are going to exist anyways. So why not just have both? You still have fucking the Ultimate Fighter alongside this bullshit. So, you know, why not just have it all? All right, Invicta events. Let's see, upcoming May 20th. Oh man, I recognize no. Okay, so there's Roxanne Montefiore, the co-main event, versus Sarah D'Alilio. I'm not sure who that is. Elizabeth Phillips versus Kelly Fashholtz. Not entirely sure who that is either. And the main event is Vanessa Porto versus Agizga Nyadzwedz. I don't know who that is either. I have no idea who any of these guys are. But I still usually do really like the Bellator events. Because, the last one, the co-main event and the main event was really good. But the whole event, nah. So, I don't know how to feel about Invicta right now. Because the UFC is doing all their things. Bellator is doing all their things. I feel like Bellator's gotten... not Bellator, sorry. I feel like Invicta's gotten purged of talent recently. A lot of their girls that I did actually care about are in the UFC right now anyways. So, yeah. I don't know where Invicta really goes, because without Fight Pass, Their shit before Fight Pass was terrible. From a production standpoint, from a technical, getting your stream on the internet standpoint, to paying for something on the internet standpoint, everything from them was terrible before. So yeah, I'm not too hopeful for them doing very well if they ever lose that Fight Pass contract. So I guess we'll see what happens with that while I drink my warm beer here, which is pretty goddamn disgusting. I don't have anything else to talk about. That's pretty much it for this show. You know what? I could go look up some WWE news real quick and see if anything happened. Legendary WWE icon CM Punk offered staggering $1 million to make one-off return to the ring. He's been publicly offered. So what, was this a tweet by WWE or something? I don't know. WWE star Dean Ambrose wants cross-code fight in the UFC if he is paid $500,000. How about that, Dean? How about that? How about that? I don't even know if CM Punk got that much. Now you're just talking up your asshole, Dean. I've had enough of your bullshit and your Intercontinental Championship reign. Go suck a dick, man. Oh, God. Of course, that's the first two news items that I see when I look this up. It's pretty funny, though. Let's look up some news here real quick. Yeah, all right, well, CM Punk. WWE superstar CM Punk is down to fight in the UFC. Hey, Bleacher Report. I knew that. I already knew this. I would not be surprised to see CM Punk in WWE again, though. Like right now, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, keep doing the UFC thing? Like, it's pretty obvious that that's going nowhere. He might have one more UFC fight, right? But after that, how long do you want to keep that going? I get that you're maybe scared that Bellator's going to sign him, and yeah, they're probably gonna. But why would you do that to yourself? It's such a, I don't know, man. It's not like Conor, right? Conor earned where he was. He was not the superstar he was now this whole time, right? He earned the spot that he's at right now. Like CM Punk, man, he's always gonna in the UFC. He's always gonna be what he is now. Like, even if he does get slightly better, he doesn't talk shit. He's just another fucking fighter that fights. He's nothing special, right? So why not? Like, if he really wants to make money, maybe the WWE is not the place. Maybe he would want to go work indies or something else in wrestling. Maybe he just is over WWE as a whole. But man, like I don't think UFC is really the best way overall for him to do anything. For him to earn money, for him to have health, for him to it's just overall seems like a bad move for CM Punk. Anyways, oh hey, Jinder met with Impact before re-signing with TNA. Fuck, he could have signed with TNA and then gotten rid of all this shit. That would have been awesome. And then in TNA, I would have had no problem with that. He could have been a champion in TNA, and I would have been like, sweet. Fucking why not? We beat Black Brock Lesnar. That's cool. Let's get rid of this guy, because I don't give a shit about Black Brock Lesnar either. So, you could almost call Jinder fucking Indian Brock Lesnar now, right? Fuck, he's there. He's pretty much Indian Brock Lesnar. That's what I'm gonna call him now. That's about it though. WWE has been pretty tepid right now. There's really nothing happening, and the shit that's happening is really not good. It's really not good, and I'm still watching it. Like, what am I doing with life? I have habits. Those are one of those habits. I just show up on Monday, turn the TV on. Oh, hey, there's wrestling. Maybe I should actually do some good stuff on Mondays. Thanks for tuning in. Every Thursday, we're here on our live channels, Mega Scorcher TV, Twitch, YouTube, whatever Hitbox is now, Ustream, megascorcher.com. Go there. We'll tell you all our live channels. You can sign up to our RSS feeds there as well, which is podcasts, if you didn't know. Anyways, all that goodness. Go check it out. megascorcher.com. We're done here. If you're watching live, I'll stick around for a little bit. I might even play some video games. If not, whatever. I'll do something. But, hey, every Thursday. Sprawl and Brawl. Keep throwing them elbows.